Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, chasing the career, the peace of mind, the perfect moments, but still feel a deep, nagging sense that something's missing? What if the ultimate happiness you're searching for, that feeling of oneness or total peace, is actually just a single drop in an ocean you never knew existed? In this conversation, we're going to uncover an ancient perspective that radically redefines what true joy means. By listening, you won't just learn about a different kind of happiness. You'll gain a framework to understand why mainstream goals can sometimes leave us feeling empty and what lies beyond them. So what if the greatest happiness you can imagine is in reality no bigger than a puddle in the road? Stay with us because this conversation might just change how you look for joy forever.
Arjun, you have to see this. I was just reading something for that philosophy group I joined, and my brain is still buzzing. It's properly done my head in a good way.
Oh, yeah. Go on then. What is it this time? Let me guess. Another stoic telling you to embrace the cold. You know I'm not turning my shower to freezing, mate.
No, nothing like that. It's bigger. It's about happiness. The ultimate kind. We were just talking last week, weren't we, about feeling a bit flat. Like we've ticked all the boxes we were supposed to, got the jobs, live in London, we're doing all right, but there's still this background hum of, is this it?
The hum. Yeah, I know the hum. It gets loudest on the tube for me. Everyone's staring into space, looking knackered. So what's this reading say? Found the secret cure, have you?
Maybe. It starts with this idea, something called brahmānanda. It's basically the ultimate goal in a lot of spiritual paths. You know, look, the happiness you get from becoming one with the universe, with the supreme. Like a single drop of water merging back into the ocean. Pure peace, no more ego, no more stress, just oneness.
Right, I get that. It sounds pretty blissful, to be honest. A bit like that feeling you get at the end of a really intense yoga class, but times a million. The ultimate chill out. I'd take that.
Exactly, that's what I thought. It sounds like the absolute peak, the end game. But then this text from someone called Srila Rupa Goswami just casually drops this bombshell. He says, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, he says, if you take that ultimate happiness of becoming one with everything and you multiply it by 1 trillion...
A trillion, that's a ridiculous number. I can't even picture that. Okay, so 1 trillion times the best feeling ever
is still cannot compare to an atomic fraction of the happiness you get from the ocean of devotional service.
Wait, what? Hold on. An atomic fraction. So 1 trillion times the best feeling ever is still less than a tiny, tiny speck of, what was it? Devotional service. That doesn't make sense. That sounds impossible. Is it just hyperbole?
I thought so too. It sounds like a sales pitch. But then it gives this other example to try and make it make sense. It's a bit of a story. There's this great devotee, Prahlad, and he's talking to the divine in this form of Lord Nrsimhadev.
Okay, so like a myth or an ancient text.
Yeah, exactly. And Prahlad is in this state of pure bliss just from being in the presence of the Lord. He says, "My dear Lord of the universe, I am feeling transcendental pleasure in your presence and have become merged in the ocean of happiness." So he's in it. He's feeling it.
Right, he's in the ocean. Got it.
And then he says this. He says, I now consider the happiness of brahmānanda, that feeling of oneness we were talking about, the ultimate peace, to be no more than the water in the impression left by a cow's hoof in the earth, compared to this ocean of bliss.
Wow, okay, that I can picture. So you're walking through a field after it's rained, you've got the massive, endless ocean over there, and then in the mud, there's this tiny, shallow puddle in a cow's hoof-print. And he's saying the ultimate peace everyone is striving for is just that tiny muddy puddle.
Exactly, that's the analogy. It's not just a bit better. It's a completely different scale of reality. It's not more, it's other. One is about dissolving and becoming nothing. The other is about actively engaging in a relationship, a connection. The happiness comes from the loving exchange, not from ceasing to exist as an individual.
That's a massive distinction because all the modern mindfulness stuff is about dissolving the self, letting go of the ego, being the silent observer. It's all very, very solitary. It's about finding peace within yourself, by yourself. But this devotional service sounds like it's about a connection outside of yourself. It's relational.
You've hit the nail on the head. That's the core of it. It's not a happiness of isolation, even blissful isolation. It's a happiness of connection. And then the text takes it even further. This is the bit that really got me.
Go on. I'm intrigued now. My cup of tea is getting cold, but this is better.
All right. So there's this commentary on another famous text, the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the commentator, Sridhar Swami, basically breaks down everything we humans strive for, the 4 big goals of life.
Okay, what are they?
First, there's religiousness or duty, doing the right thing, being a good person, following a moral code. Then, economic development, your career, making money, being secure. After that, sense gratification, enjoying life, good food, travel, music, all the nice things. And finally, liberation, the big one, freedom from the cycle of everything, that brahmānanda, the puddle in the cow's hoof.
So that's literally everything. That's the entire human experience wrapped up. Be good, get paid, have fun, and find peace. That's the checklist for a life well lived right there. What about it?
Well, he says that for the fortunate people who are swimming in the ocean of your nectar of devotion and who are loving the stories of the divine, all those 4 things, right, their value is immediately minimized.
Minimized, so they just don't matter as much anymore?
Less than that. This is the killer line. He says that for a person in that state of devotional bliss, any other kind of happiness, including all 4 of those massive life goals, is considered no better than straw in the street.
Straw in the street? Like rubbish, just worthless bits of dry grass you wouldn't even bother to look at. That's a bit extreme, isn't it? I mean, economic security isn't straw. Being a good person isn't straw. Enjoying a beautiful sunset isn't straw.
I know! That was my first reaction. It sounds dismissive of real life. But think about the analogy. If you've just inherited £1 billion, are you going to stop to pick up a fiver you see on the pavement? The fiver is still money. It's not worthless, but in the context of your new reality, it's completely insignificant. Its value has been minimized to almost nothing.
Okay, that makes more sense. It's not saying those things are inherently bad, but that they are so unbelievably dwarfed by this other experience that they lose their power over you. You're no longer chasing them because you've already found something infinitely more valuable.
Precisely. Your whole motivational structure gets rewired. You're not trying to be a good person to get a reward later. You're not working for money just to feel secure. You're not chasing fleeting pleasures to fill a void. And you're not even trying to escape everything to find peace. The happiness you feel from that loving connection, that devotional service, becomes the end in itself. And it's so fulfilling that everything else just becomes, well, straw in the street.
Wow. So it's about shifting your primary source of joy from things that are finite, money, fleeting moments, even the end of your own consciousness, to something that's infinite, an ocean, a dynamic, ongoing relationship.
An ocean of nectar, as they call it. It's active. It's not about sitting still and emptying your mind. It's about filling your heart. It's about relishing stories, feeling connection, actively participating in a loving exchange. It's a completely different paradigm for happiness.
It really is. It puts that hum we were talking about into perspective. Maybe the hum is there because we're chasing puddles, thinking they're the ocean. We get to the puddle, achieve the goal, and find it's shallow and it dries up pretty quickly. So we just run off looking for the next puddle.
And we never even think to look up and see the actual ocean shimmering on the horizon. Blimey. See, it does your head in.
It really does. Straw in the street. I'm going to be thinking about that all day. It's not about rejecting the world, but about finding something so beautiful that the world's grip on you just loosens.
Exactly. The happiness isn't the prize at the end of the race. The loving connection is the race, the prize, and the whole stadium. Everything all at once.
Puts my stress about that deadline tomorrow into perspective. Thanks, Arjun. I think I needed to hear that.
1 trillion times. That's gonna stick with me.
Me too, mate. Me too.
Explore more reflections on love, surrender, and the divine. Watch the next video or subscribe for deeper journeys.
Love is not the end. It's the way.